if it is that we really want to create that change and create that peace, we need to highlight and recognize positivity and put positivity in the front line.
This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good night, Adrian Sealey. Previously, episode number 55 on the 12-Minute Convo podcast. The last time I spoke to you, it was 3 years, 2 days, 11 hours, and 30 minutes ago from this said time of recording. How are you doing, champion?
I'm doing excellent, my brother. Even better than when we have spoken over the past 3 years. Now, I don't have the days and the time as you do, but I know it has been roughly 3 years, and I'm doing a lot better by the grace of the Almighty.
Well, that is amazing. I know, getting back to have this opportunity to have this conversation after listening to that episode number 55, we were definitely younger when we recorded that. So what's one of the updates, or even two of the updates? What's the latest? What's going on?
Well, I think at the top of the list, I'm now bald. There's no hair on my head. I've got just a gallant humor in there, but I'm proud father of a wonderful baby boy. He'll be 2 years on the 20th of June. The last day, to really make him a Gemini like his dad, so that has definitely been a major milestone in both my life and my wife's life. And I'm also a member of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service.
That's amazing. Now, the last time we were speaking, a lot was going on around the dojo and the team you had there. At that time, it was 200 plus students. Are you still doing that?
Yes, I am. That is a passion that I have, and it's not something that I am going to shy away, as long as I have that life of breath within me, that breath of life, rather.
So what is it like? Has the numbers grown, or is it decreased? How is it going with that?
Unfortunately, it has decreased over the past 3 years or so. Being a member of, or rather a resident of Crown Trace Enterprise, it's no secret of the violent crimes that we would have had in the area. As a result of that, our membership, it would have been negatively impacted. However, through continuous collaborations with organizations, both regionally and internationally, in addition to the U.S. Embassy and most recently the UN, as well as the Central Division Community Police, we are now enjoying what I would say is gradual increase in the number, but even more importantly, that level of, love and that level of positivity back in our community of enterprise.
So what happened there? I mean, with the U.S. Embassy and the UN coming in there, what did they initiate programs, or did you go across for training? What happened there?
Well, both essentially, now with regards to the U.S., what they did is more or less came into the area and see what they can do in terms of strengthening the capacity of organizations, both sporting, religious, and even businesses within the community. And any community of enterprise, Ruda and Dojo is one of those NGOs that stood out. As a result of that, in 2017, I would have been nominated and subsequently selected to represent Trinidad and Tobago on an international visitors leadership program, which would have seen me traveling throughout the U.S.
Wow.
Just to be a bit more specific, I had some training in Washington, D.C. From there, I went to Chattanooga, Tennessee, then to San Diego,
Wow.
and it ended in Los Angeles. Now, it's no way close compared to the trip where, you and your wife would have embarked upon, but it was really a life-changing experience whereby we saw how various communities and also religious organizations of various denominations came together to really create and support each other's initiative in terms of actually bringing the community together. The U.S. has definitely been a big support in that. And when I say the U.S., I'm referring specifically to the U.S. Embassy, Port of Spain. The UN recently came in as well to see how they can strengthen organizational capacity. One of our founding members as well, Sensi Mava, she would have benefited from this program, if my mind serves me correctly, in 2018. And it's really building, the capacity of organizations and individuals throughout Trinidad and Tobago who are really doing amazing things in the community. So I must say thank you to those organizations.
That's amazing. Congratulations. When we last spoke, you talked about your travel to Brazil and
Yes, yes.
the effects of your bringing up. In Trinidad, we just say brought up, see, right?
Yeah,
I
brought up.
mean, in terms of like how you were brought up in Trinidad and how that impacted your ability to communicate with those individuals there
Yeah,
in what we would call the ghetto. And it was really powerful because despite the language barrier, there was a truth in experience. And I found that pretty amazing
yes,
that just you were able to pass over that and they were able to see truth, what I consider to be truth, that you were speaking from that place.
yes,
Brings me to the point of networking, which, like, from the time we first spoke to now, your skill in networking is one that is of the highest level I've experienced, in that you represent who you are, but at the same time you create a space for others.
yes,
And now I'm seeing you going across to the US, and you practically go from east to west. Yeah,
yes.
that's what you did. So, like, will you continue to be this person, Adrian? Now that 3 years has passed since we've spoken, just reflecting, looking back, would you continue?
Yes, I will. You would have mentioned the trip to Brazil, and that would have been um, sponsored under the Citizen Security Program, which is under the Ministry of National Security. And that partnership would have been forged with the organization Fight for Peace. And I'm proud to say to this day, we still partner consistently with this organization by the name of Fight for Peace. So networking is a big part of it. But to really answer your question, one of my fundamental principles or one of my belief is, really having that level of gratitude. And the gratitude that I have in my last podcast, 55, I would have made mention of my deceased martial arts instructor, Reverend Dr. Shian Kalaiton. And he would have played a pivotal role in who I am today. And, through having that level of mentorship, it has benefited me greatly. I believe firmly it's because of this kind of mentorship and guidance, I would have been able to travel around the world. And here it is now, I am in a position where I can create such opportunities or be a mentor to many of the youths in my area, both males and females, who would have grown up, without a mother or father, even in more challenging situations, and I would have faced. So it's that gratitude within me that keeps me, really motivated along this path. So I do not see it as something that will change, and I would like you to hold me to that. Whether it's 3 years, 10 years down the road, we have a follow up.
Yeah.
And, so I'm really putting myself there because gratitude, I believe, is something that is diminishing sadly, and there's so much as individuals we can do in terms of really helping others achieve their goal and really be, that supporting factor behind someone. It makes a very, very significant impact in someone's life.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I think even tying back to when you shared your earliest childhood memory where you were sitting on your father's, and as you said, your biological father's lap, and he was teaching you to drive. I find that to be so metaphorical then, because as a representation for your life, in that you've been basically given the opportunity through other organizations to sit in the driver's seat. And in that, you now are helping others sit in the driver's seat as well. But I really, really think sometimes we miss the gratitude that is necessary to be shared. And sometimes it's really not the money that the other person is looking for. It's really the gratitude, isn't it?
Yes, yes. I don't think you could really put a monetary value to that. But, as society, many times we look at that financial component and we shy away from the human nature of it. We do not have that sense of, pride and that passion, that humane aspect, to really be that supporting factor for someone. And, the thing about it, and in some ways, by me actually volunteering and doing this work, I feel as if, the membership and the persons who I communicate with, they too are helping me to become a better person. So
Yes.
much, once you humble yourself, you learn from them as well. persons are going through really, really challenging situations, notwithstanding that, you would have the one or two errant members, but it's all part of life. What I seek to do is really look at the good in persons. And, being even from this community and many of the experiences, we tend to highlight when someone does something wrong, but so many good and positive things are happening, but you don't see that, being highlighted. You don't see it in the front page of the press. And I think, if it is that we really want to create that change and create that tranquility, that peace, we need to highlight and recognize positivity and put positivity in the front line.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Adrian, I want to round off this episode by something you expressed, and I didn't prepare you for this, but I believe it's something that is core to who you are, and I think it will definitely sum up this conversation in terms of the life you're living. What is a dojo?
A dojo, as we know it, is a house of knowledge where peaceful warriors come together to receive enlightenment to take them through life. But at Rudan Dojo, we change this. We change it from the component of being a house, but more so being a home where individuals of different religious persuasions, different academic, levels, different status in terms of society come together where we are all one. We are brothers and sisters. We are a supporting cast. So that's the essence of a dojo. It's like an extended family.
Well, I do thank you, my friend, for ensuring and making that place possible for this time in life, for humanity as you are doing. Adrian, again, my friend, this has been a great pleasure. Before we leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
I would really like to highlight you and the wonderful job both you and your wife and your family, including your kids, you all are doing. I think you all are doing human service in terms of actually connecting with persons around the world to highlight positivity. And I am sure that your numbers will continue to grow. And I pray that the Almighty continue to keep you and your family together as one. Love, joy, happiness, and prosperity to you and to all of your listeners. Thank you once again for providing me with this opportunity to share.
Definitely, I appreciate that. And boomerang, right back at you, man. Boomerang. Adrian Sealey, love it. Adrian Sealey, again, thanks for being on what is inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. This podcast is produced by Pod Edits. Visit podedits.com for professional podcast publishing.